Gonzo on the restart. Weaves his way, fires, and scores. Look at attack, coming middle, trying to free himself up. Shot, score! Gets around Weed, off the bounce, shot, and a score. Wow. Levine with some speed. Levine fakes a pass. Levine all the way is going to fire and score. Up top, Druin. He wants a shot, and he's got it. Wow. Meanwhile, Arbusto. One-handed shot is up and in.
Got a penalty flag down.
Skip pass sets up Gabord, and it's time to pluck a chicken. Black.
But a good one-handed scoop up.
Oh, Roy, and then he lights the lamp. Lowers that left shoulder and fires up the Cougar fans. Look at this.
Nice
play. Fake shot by Brunzik, and then he drills it on his way to the ground. Chase, extra feed, shot, score, game over.
Stadium on the campus of Exeter High School for this afternoon's 2023.
Well, hello everyone, and welcome here to Exeter. Nick Anastas, Roger, how are you? Getting set for the 2023 NHIAA Boys Lacrosse Division I State Championship game. First of 3 state championship games to be played here in Exeter. And this one, the latest chapter in a long-running rivalry between Bishop Guertin and Pinkerton. The Cardinals are your 2-time defending champions. Pinkerton, of course, looking for their first title since 2019. The now 12th time these two teams have met, Roger, in the state championship since 2005.
Yeah, and this is Pinkerton's 22nd appearance in the finals going back to 1994. And believe it or not, even though Bishop Guertin hasn't been around that long, 2004, this is their 18th time. So they're this is the mainstay of New Hampshire lacrosse in Division I for sure. Excited to watch and call this game today.
Yeah, Pinkerton, of course, kind of the old guard, so to speak. Athletic director and former head coach Brian O'Reilly had them at the club level, competing well in the 80s and the 90s. Of course, they come out the gate in 94 when the NHIAA finally sanctioned the sport. And they won, the first 1, 2, 3, 4 titles and 5 of the first 6. Then, of course, Coach Chris Cameron, the Bishop Guertin head coach, arrived in Nashua in 2004, and the Cardinals have been in the championship more often than not over the better part of the last 2 decades.
They certainly have.
At one point, they rattled off 5 in a row, and they're looking for 3 straight. And, of course, the big number is 12. Coach O'Reilly won 12 state championships with Pinkerton. Coach Cameron has a chance to match him if the Cardinals can hang on tonight.
Yes, and I talked to Coach Cam before the game today, and as humble as he can be, he said, yeah, we're on the precipice of that, but we still have to earn it, and he is absolutely correct. We'll take a break for the national anthem.
Well, that was the beautiful rendition of the national anthem by Bishop Guertin student Sophia O'Kay, live here at Bill Ball Stadium in Nashua. It's a gorgeous afternoon, the first of 3 state championship games here on Friday Night Lights, New Hampshire. Of course, we're broadcasting in conjunction with the NFHS network. And right now, down there on the field, game time temperature close to 80 degrees, sunshine. You can't ask for better weather. All right, Roger, keys here both ways between these two talented teams. BG, your top seed at 15-3 in the regular season. Pinkerton, the 3 seed at 13-5.
Right off the bat, face-offs. Cole Frank against Paulo Vasquez and Noah Zeman. This is where BG, if you recall, in the Boston College game, turned the tide in the second half. It was based on face-offs, in my opinion. The double-headed monster, as you call them, for the Cardinals, on a hot day like today, which is exactly how it was that afternoon, that could be a big factor in wearing down Cole Frank if this is going to be a high-scoring game. Second thing is, who's in goal? We've seen Will Murphy, we've seen Connerty, and it looks like it's going to be Connerty and LeBlanc. That was the next statement. So LeBlanc has won that job out over Curtis Michaud. He's the hot goalie going into the playoffs. That could be a factor as well.
The senior, a Newberry commit, shut out Exeter in the semifinals for the final 5:39 to preserve a 13-12 Astros win.
Now,
back on Wednesday night.
I hear through the grapevine that they will do whatever they need to do just this, tie up the face-off circle, and that was a violation. So
BG will have it first. Paulo Vasquez, the sophomore for the Cardinals, officially 1-0 against Cole Frank, widely regarded as the state's best. All right, so here come the Cardinals. As I mentioned, 15-3 during the regular season. The 3 losses, of course, were against out-of-state opponents. And Bishop Guertin beat Pinkerton head-to-head back on May the 18th by a final score of 16-6. That game was in Nashua at Stello Stadium. Here's Aiden Laurendo behind the cage, going to move left to right and take his time here. Defender giving him some space, and now Brady Dumont likes that near slot, but passes on the shot. They'll try it again around the horn.
So Pinkerton comes out in zone right off the bat, and BG goes right into 1-4, so watch for the outside.
Here's Bouvier, a step-down shot and score is going to open things up for Bishop Guertin.
Yeah, you can see that coming, Nick. 1-4 sets up. BG's very good at moving the ball on the perimeter and getting the defense to shift. They come out and attack Bouvier, and he's wide open. That's an easy shot for him. 12, 11 yards for him is nothing.
So Bouvier, the senior, on his way to Holy Cross. Going to light the lamp. Goes upstairs to beat LeBlanc with just over a minute gone by.
It was Frank's first.
And Cole Frank doing what he's accustomed to doing. We spoke with Coach Steve Gaudreau. He said his guy was up over 93% at one point this season at the X.
Yeah, he was 86 in the semifinal game against Exeter. He pretty much dominated Will McElroy. Not pretty much, he did.
All right, so it's Pinkerton's turn as the Astros look to even this game at 1 apiece. Large crowd here today as expected. About a 50-50 split here in terms of allegiance. With the Astro red off to our right, the BG green, including a standing student section to our left. Here's a shot that's swallowed up. Ryan Lynch tried to beat the junior Zach Connerty low, but the VMI commit was ready to go there.
Yeah, one of the other keys to the game here, Nick, is going to be how tough BG is going to be on defense, pressing out at all points on the field. So wherever you see the ball in an Astros stick, you're going to see a Cardinal right on them, and it doesn't matter how far out the box the Astros are. They're going to press them hard, and that might wear them out early if the Astros possess the ball for a good amount of time here.
2.5 gone by, first quarter. Bishop Guertin, an opportunity to go up 2-0. And again, around the horn it goes. Laurendo behind the cage. Going to shift to his right, draws a slide. Near side, this is Caleb Young, the midfielder. Now a shot for Gabord is high. The senior lets it fly an inch or two above the crossbar. Well, this BG team, as we know, loaded with college commits, including Gabord, who is on his way to Army. And as Coach Cameron has described, one of his deeper teams.
Oh.
Here's a nice shot, but it's stopped by LeBlanc. Kind of an over-the-shoulder shot by Bouvier in traffic. LeBlanc was ready, and it's the long pole Cam Leeds who comes out of the fray for Pinkerton. Now LeBlanc going to jog out of the net. Come near side. That's a good handle, and a flag is going to fly. It'll be the game's first penalty. Coach Cameron not pleased on the sideline. The Astros are going to slow it down.
Can't imagine he's happy with that kind of sidewinder from Bouvier either.
This is Michael Uber, one of several 3-year starters for this Pinkerton team. One of the stronger senior classes that Coach Gaudreau has had. Uber's going to fire on the run, but Connerty is ready, and that will draw the whistle. So the first penalty will be assessed here with less than 4 minutes gone by in this opening quarter.
Yeah, slash on Moore, which is what he did. That's a good call.
It's the junior forward, Finn Moran, the Siena commit. Going to have a word with Coach Cameron and the coaching staff as he takes a knee in the penalty box. So, Pinkerton, good opportunity to tie this game early. First EMO either way.
This is going to be a different set for the Astros, as we're traditionally seen during the season. They're missing both Mike Morrison and Joey Gallo that are normally on the extra man offense.
Gallo injured his leg in the semifinal win over Exeter. And Morrison was lost last month.
There's an opening.
Ober likes the bouncer. It's deflected by Connerty and sent out of bounds with an even 20 seconds remaining on the EMO.
Pinkerton's going to have to move it just a little bit quicker than that so that they get a good take.
Here's Adam Scala. One-on-one behind the cage. BG's Alex Garone.
He's open again.
Is the defender.
Yeah.
Shot and score. Up top, it's Quintilani. The sophomore midfielder awakens this Pinkerton crowd and ties the game at 1 with 5 seconds remaining on the EMO.
Yeah, we'll give him that EMO, and I thought that there was one more pass here. That's a pretty good distance, 15 yards, and Connerty didn't see it. But, yeah, good for the Astros, keeping that ball moving from X, getting it out on the wing quickly.
And Frank going to win this one quickly. His second. And now Uber drops the shoulder against Moran, gets a shot off, and that one finds its way into the net. A bouncer for Michael Uber. And Pinkerton, with goals just 12 seconds apart, take their first lead 2-1.
Key play here now. This is where Cole Frank can be deadly, much like Paulo, 26, can be for the Cardinals. If he gets this face-off and makes it clean, watch for the run to start here.
Frank, winner of 2 in a row.
He went early. Wow, they let it go.
So Frank starting to get into a rhythm. Can't hold on to the ball, though. Poked away by the long pole, Alex Dumont.
No.
Ill-advised shot there, perhaps, and Pinkerton's going to take it over.
Yeah, no. Cam's not going to be happy with that.
Cardinals did not have a player behind the cage. So now Pinkerton, from their own end, look for the clear. Long pole, Brendan Carney. It's the lone freshman in the Pinkerton lineup. Going to toss it over to the senior LeBlanc, who lets it fly, trying to hook up with Wong. And the pass goes long. It's still in bounds, however, and it's scooped up by Scala,
right
who's knocked down.
Loose ball. He called timeout. He did. He
you get a timeout?
He did, yeah.
So Steve Gaudreau going to use one early to ensure the possession as we near the midway point here in this first quarter. All right. Our broadcast today, first of 3, by the way, here on Championship Sunday, brought to you by Service Credit Union. Service Credit Union is the official credit union of the NHIAA. and New Hampshire high school sports. Learn more about how they can help support your financial goals, too, at servicecu.org/NHIAA. And also by New Hampshire Army National Guard. Members of the Army National Guard don't give up, and they do whatever it takes to achieve success. Find your success in the Army National Guard. Visit nationalguard.com/NH. Nick Anastas, Roger Howe with you. About midway through the first quarter, Pinkerton, the challenger, so to speak, out on top of the champ, 2-1.
Yeah, and exciting already. A couple mistakes already by both sides, a couple of unforced errors. But this is what we expected right from the very beginning. And I certainly expect that it's going to ramp up before the end of the fourth.
BG in search of a third straight championship. Of course, there was no season in 2020 due to the COVID-19 situation. But that ushered in sort of a new era for at least a moment as Exeter and BG battled for the next two state championships. Pinkerton resuming their rivalry, so to speak, with BG for the first time since they beat the Cardinals here on this field in 2019.
Yeah, and I got to say, COVID must have had, or probably did have, a lot to do with Pinkerton not being in this game those last couple of years right after COVID, with the coaching transition, change of culture, things like that, the gap, obviously, with contact from the coaching staff to the players. But here they are right back at it.
That broke up a streak of 6 or 7 straight state championships in the 2010s decade. Meanwhile, a turnover. That won't sit well with Coach Gaudreau coming out of the timeout. As BG going to try and clear now out of their own end. Kylie going to receive a pass in the middle of the field.
Not much of a ride there for Pinkerton. They didn't gap up in the middle at all.
6 minutes here, first quarter. Laurendo, this is Brady Dumont. Thought about it. Back up top for Bouvier, who's got the lone goal to his credit.
Pinkerton still in zone.
Up top is Quintilani, the midfielder, for Pinkerton. Laurendo now for BG. Well, it seems like the Roger, the Astros are pretty content with kind of hanging back here.
Hanging back, but
until that happens.
Until then.
Backdoor feed. Laurendo's on the doorstep. And next thing you know, he breaks into the house, so to speak. 2-2 here.
Yeah, there was a little bit of a disruption there because they're playing a backer zone here where they are playing behind and not allowing that dodge from behind uncontested, but you got to cover up, too, when you get back into the center, and there was no backside help. They vacated everything, and that's the way you beat the zone. You make them move into a position where they are not accustomed to being, and the rotation gets broken down fairly quick.
So the patience pays off.
Indeed.
Meanwhile, another win at X for Cole Frank, who lost the one to open up the game but has been unbeaten since. So we head towards 5 minutes first quarter. Astros look to reclaim the lead. Here's Ryan Lynch. Had a strong senior campaign, another 3-year starter. Quintilani going to fire.
Oh, yeah. No, it's a good call. Good call.
Foot race there, won by Pinkerton's Wong.
Yeah.
As the junior just able to outlast Alex Dumont. And now trying to get out of a jam here. This is Scala.
Yeah, this is the big press.
That's Moran. Going to wrestle it away with a good move. And now trying to control the ground ball out of the air. It's picked up by Scala, who quickly fires. And that one ends up wide, out of play, and back over to Bishop Guertin.
And you could see that the Cardinals have no fear of doubling the ball that far outside the box and leaving the backside open. They're taking a big risk there, and if Scala had looked, he had an open man on the far side. But, this is what the Cardinals are going to do. They're going to wear you down no matter where the ball is offensively on the field.
We head towards 4 minutes, 2-2. PG looking for the lead back. Laurendo going to jog way out on the far side and slow this thing to a crawl here. Astros talk amongst themselves.
New blood.
Yep, we're going to see some new players here. Owen King trots on. He'll get his first touch.
Connor Hughes on the far side as well.
Yep.
Heat made to some of the players here early.
The first 80-degree day in a while.
Yeah, first real sunny day in a long time, too.
Overcast and rainy. It's been the MO most of the way the last couple of weeks.
Smoky, little campfire smell for the last 2 weeks.
Pass near the cage. BG trying to get him to shift. The shot will come up top, and there is the save. LeBlanc, a quick outlet. This one's up for grabs, and it's taken off the bounce by Scala.
You got to stall it here. Got to get the possession.
Scala trying to tiptoe the sideline, does so. Hooks up with Uber. And now it's Pinkerton's turn as we approach 3 minutes. Uber going to take the contact, looks for a bouncing shot that won't go. This one belongs to the Cardinals.
Yeah, they had Brady Dumont down here playing defense, and this is just what they want. He is not a defender, and he went with the clearing pass.
Avoids a big hit at midfield.
They're going to throw it, too.
Are they?
Yep. Far side flag. That's official McCaffrey.
LeBlanc gets another save, but the first penalty against Pinkerton is on the way.
Offsides on Pinkerton. It's going to be on Ryan.
Lynch.
Well, he's going to sit it. I don't know if he was the infracting guy, but.
No.
Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
No, this could be a turning point right here. 32nd man up. Let's see if they get right into it.
Yeah, I was about to say the Cardinals with a chance to pay Pinkerton back on the EMO, as the Astros cashed in for a man-up goal earlier to get on the board. 2:40 remaining, first quarter. Been pretty even everywhere so far, including on the scoreboard.
All right, we've seen this set all season long. Watch Kylie in what I call the Dawson Clark spot. They always looked to Clark in years past.
Clark, of course, the standout now for Army.
Yes.
Laurendeau. Back shot. Kind of a tough release. The stick goes flying out of Caleb Young's hands on the release. And that shot ends up sailing out of bounds to the far corner.
Hey, he's going to LeBlanc's strong side, too, which you don't see the Cardinals doing much. They usually go weak.
Pass batted down. Cam Leeds got a stick on it.
Yeah.
It's tipped. It'll stay with BG. Good hustle by Kylie to get there. Meanwhile, we're back to even strength as the Astros kill off the penalty. Up top, thought about the shot. Good closeout. It's LeBlanc defensively making a play there for Pinkerton. Alec Henry. Meanwhile, at the cage, Young in traffic. And this one goes to Pinkerton. Goaltender goes tumbling there. A lot of traffic there in front of the cage, and in the end, Pinkerton will have it for the final 100 seconds here in the opening frame. Lead's going to come out unchallenged for the moment. Looks middle. Cody Santamassimo.
He's got a man.
Is the man. He's going to drop that right shoulder. Defender Alex Dumont with him step for step.
Look at this pursuit. Wow.
Good interception. That's the basketball player with the pick, Bobby Canaway.
Yeah.
Dumont going to slow it out.
Ill-advised there by Alex Dumont. I think he heard it on the bench.
Moran, quick shot. Yeah, he was thinking.
He was definitely thinking.
He was thinking there, but in the end thought better of it perhaps.
Yeah.
All right, final minute on the way here. Cardinals hoping for the lead after one. Bouvier, who has the 2 goals for BG. Near side for Young, behind the cage. Bouvier, Santamassimo with him. And now Gabord far side. Cycled back for Bouvier. Going to trot near side, look to draw a slide across. The shot is swallowed up. Wow. Put on cage there by Jacob Karen, the senior, on his way to St. Anselm's, but LeBlanc again is ready. The goaltender has stayed hot from the other night here in this first quarter.
Boy, and he's very cool in the crease there. Kind of very passive about getting this ball out.
Well, Pinkerton will get the clear, and now are in a position potentially for the final shot with inside of 20 seconds.
Wow.
Lynch, a shovel pass, ends up with his teammate Richard Wong. And now with 10 seconds remaining, it's Scala.
Got to go.
Near side, Quintilani.
Got to go.
Fumbling along the sideline. We're down to 5 seconds. This is Matt Fioli and now Quintilani. Just 1 second remaining. He won't get the shot off. I think that's okay, though, with Coach Gaudreau as Pinkerton deadlocked with the two-time defending champion Bishop Guertin 2-2 after 1 quarter of play here in Exeter. Right back to Bill Ball Stadium in a moment. You are watching the 2023 NHIAA Boys Lacrosse Division I State Championship game. Right here on Friday Night Lights, New Hampshire, broadcasting in conjunction with the NFHS Network.
Our broadcast today, as it always is brought to you by Beals Insurance Agency, with locations now in both Bedford and Londonderry. Whether you need home, auto, or business insurance, Beals Insurance will get you both the price and quality coverage that's right for you. Just call 603-471-9999 or visit BealsInsurance.com to request a free quote and start saving money today. Again, that's BealsInsurance.com.
Well, welcome back here to Exeter. Nick Anastas, Roger Howe with you from Friday Night Lights, New Hampshire, broadcasting in conjunction today with the NFHS Network. It's a 2-2 game here after 1 quarter in the 2023 NHIAA Boys Lacrosse Division I State Championship game, the latest chapter between Pinkerton and Bishop Guertin. Both goals for BG came from senior Connor Bouvier. The first about a minute in, the second about midway through the period. Wedged in between were back-to-back goals 12 seconds apart by Pinkerton. Benjamin Quintilani tied the game at 1 on the EMO, and then a moment later Michael Ubert gave Pinkerton their first lead. So 2-2. Both defenses, Roger, clearly have come to play, and this one promises to be tight throughout.
Indeed, and Zeman's out there for the Cardinals on this face-off.
And he's in the hunt here, hoping to scoop it up. Frank got the better of the sophomore Vasquez in that first quarter, and ultimately Pinkerton gets it here as well.
Yeah, 4-1 for Cole out of the 5. So
long pass over the head of its intended target, Canaway.
Oh, Crossman.
Ridge Crossman got a clean look at it, and now it is taken waist high off the bounce by Leeds. Pinkerton able to stick with it and ultimately get the ground ball they were hoping for, and now look to slow it down on the attack. With just about a minute gone by here in the second quarter.
Yeah, I like the way that Coach Gaudreau was going right for the offensive plays on his faceoffs. Matt Fioli has been on that wing without a long pole on the other wing. So he's expecting that Cole Frank is going to win these faceoffs, Nick, and they're going to go right into their offense.
Quintilani, the sophomore, able to ride the bigger defender Canaway to the near side, and now Scala wants a one-on-one, trying to shift away from the defender. A wraparound shot and score. Well, a good shake and bake to get the initial step on the defender, senior Chris Prangley. And then he knew what to do after that as he retakes the lead for his team 3-2.
Yeah, I didn't see how that happened as far as the defender, a short stick defender getting on the Pinkerton player. But obviously he goes right to the rack on that and saw that he had the advantage at X. So good IQ there.
So Adam Scala, the junior attackman, right now is the difference. 3-2 Pinkerton, and again, the Cardinals getting physical at X. This time the ground ball goes their way. A good play there by BG's Noah Guerrera, the sophomore. And now the Cardinals, with nearly 2 minutes gone by, second quarter, look to tie the game. Here's Gabord. Giving room up top. Same look defensively here, Roger?
Yes, it is. And let's see if they go backer here, because they've got 3 long poles anchoring the backside here, so they weren't doing that earlier. They had a short stick in the middle. Yeah, they're gonna slough off, so they're not going to go backer here.
Cardinals keep testing the perimeter.
They got 2 shorties out front, Nick, as you can see.
Yep.
And it's working.
Finally, the shot comes. This one, a laser over the crossbar.
And I think if you're Cam Leeds and you've got Bouvier and Gabord on that far side, you got to move a little quicker than that. That was Brady Dumont.
Yeah,
however.
and that was close, too.
That was close.
It shaved the metal. Almost. Here's Bouvier. Bang!
Well, maybe I didn't speak too soon at all. Bouvier comes over to this right side, and then he smokes one.
Yep. 3-3. Bouvier, the first half hat trick, as he lights the lamp for the 3rd time. Another vicious shot.
He's got to have the hardest shot in the league right now. He just can, wow.
Well, of course, he comes from a Lacrosse family, as we know. The senior on his way to Holy Cross. His sister was one of the best players I've ever seen on the girls' side. And, of course, Bouvier has been an integral part of this Bishop Guertin machine for a few years now.
Yeah.
All right, Cardinals get what they want,
Look at
including
this.
a pass down the alley. The long shot never got off. Jammed up, it looked like at the last moment. Leeds ends up with the ground ball. The outlet pass thrown by LeBlanc. It's dropped near side by Jacob Chase, the sophomore defender, but in the end, Pinkerton crosses the 50. Now it's Wong behind the net, going to backtrack, and the Astros look to set up the attack here with the game tied at 3, just over 3 minutes gone by.
Wow, it's too bad Chase dropped that ball on the initial pass from LeBlanc, because they had numbers. The Astros had numbers. Another bat down.
Yep. Fioli trying to retrieve and does so for Pinkerton.
Whoa.
Again, more pressure there.
Oh, he's offsides.
From Dumont. No whistle here.
Oh.
This is Brady Dumont wrapped around. The Cardinal fans want a whistle, and now a flag does fly. Meanwhile, in front of the cage, a shot and a score for Tim Kiley. The senior co-captain on his way to Sacred Heart has got his first goal, and BG's back on top 4-3.
Yeah, I think BG got away with this one because they were clearly offsides on that clear, or not even a clear. It was an inadvertent pass. It was a deflection, but good for Brady Dumont to come over and grab that ball, get it down to Kiley quickly, and there's no chance there for LeBlanc.
Well, it was Alex Dumont who initially forced the turnover. And as you mentioned, Brady Dumont doing a good job on the clear, and ultimately it ends up with Kiley. Meanwhile, here's Frank. Had 3 goals in the win over Exeter in the semifinals in, well, potentially similar fashion there, straight from the X. But this one is blown dead. And in the end, possession is going to belong to Pinkerton. It'll come with just about 4 minutes gone by in this second quarter. Meanwhile, the crowd continues to swell. Some late arrivers, I think, have finally filled out what remained of the empty seats here in the stands. But it is packed here. First of 3 straight state championship games here on Championship Sunday, here on Friday Night Lights, New Hampshire, and the NFHS Network.
Yeah, the Cardinals are putting in some, third and second string defenders. I hesitate to call them second or third stringers, but non-starters, I guess. Charlie Bellavance, number 28, in there now.
Meanwhile, Scala tried to sneak one by on the bouncer, and not going to work. That one ends up wide, and the Cardinals are all over it. Good stop there for Bishop Guertin. BG out in front here, 4-3. Looking for their first 2-goal lead of the contest. Gabord in the middle. Wong trying to close that gap. Gabord's got his eye on the 50 and does get there for the BG clear. Another flag's going to fly. Meanwhile, away from the ball here along the near sideline.
I think we have an offsides. This is going to be against Pinkerton. They got this one.
5 minutes gone by, second quarter. We had one penalty each way. We've had one penalty each way so far, but it looks like another on the way against the Astros. Meanwhile, downhill, Bouvier back to Gabord. Closed out well by Crossman. And up top it goes again for Bouvier. BG showing that trademark patience here. The Astro defense continues to shift. Nearing the midway point now of the period.
And let's not forget.
Looking for Kiley in the middle. It's turned over as Leeds gets to the ground ball, and that will draw the whistle.
Yeah, and let's not forget, they had 7 defenders out there. They were offsides, and they just stayed offsides, which is what you're supposed to do. And they had 7 guys out there, and BG could still move the ball and try to find the opening. So
all right, so
it's
offsides.
offsides.
Yep. Looks like Scala going to serve it for Pinkerton. He's down on his right knee in the box. The junior scoring a goal earlier, and he's looked good here in this first half.
Well, Coach Gaudreau can't be happy with that. The 2 penalties they have are both offside penalties. That's just a mental mistake.
30-second EMO for BG. Kiley will go upstairs. Well, he knows how to pluck the chicken, and he does so there, coming on the near side. Puts BG out in front 5-3.
Not only that, but feathers be flying on that one. So that was just textbook BG movement on a man down, or man up, excuse me. Just wide open here. And that was a sitting chicken. That he had no chance for that.
Right over the right shoulder of LeBlanc. So Kiley 2 goals in this second quarter, and right now that's the difference. 5-3 BG. Cardinals leading by 2 for the first time. Meanwhile, Frank going to win that one at X. What's that now, Roger? 5 out of 7, maybe? Yeah. We hit the midway point, second quarter. Astros look to kill the final seconds of the penalty. They will as Uber trots back on. This is Fioli. Matt Fioli, senior co-captain, had 5 goals to lead the way to that victory over Exeter on this field in the semifinals a few nights ago.
Yeah, and where Lynch was unstoppable against Londonderry the game before, Nick, Fioli was that.
Yeah, Fioli ended up with 5 against the Blue Hawks, and Lynch had, 6 in the quarterfinal win against Londonderry?
At least 6. He had 6 in the first half.
Oh, there you go. Meanwhile, it's Lynch who trails the play. Was looking for a flag there as he was knocked down, having a chat with the official. Meanwhile, the Astros are going to force another BG turnover. Good play there by both Uber and Leeds. Now BG trying to organize the ride in real time here. Uber says, forget all that, I'm going right up the middle.
Oh, that's got to be a flag, yep.
Knocked down, a flag will fly. Alex Dumont not happy, but may have tripped up the senior to draw the ire of the official as we move inside of 5 minutes.
Whoa. Screen.
You got a whistle here.
Yeah, it's going to get a trip here on Alex. Yep.
So Dumont will serve the minute, and the Astros go back on the man up.
I'm not sure why there was a whistle there. It looked like there may have been an interference call on the back end.
Well, Coach Cameron
stop.
Not happy. Having a quick one-on-one with the senior in the penalty box. All right. Pinkerton cashed in on their first EMO and hoping to do so here to cut BG's lead in half as they trail 5-3. Fioli unguarded near the cage. Now Lynch on the near wing.
Oh.
Skip it far side. It's in and out of the stick of Uber. And that's Canaway again on the ground ball for BG. Cardinals now short-handed as Canaway looks near side. Laurendo flips a pass for Kiley, who wasn't quite ready. LeBlanc comes out of the cage to get to it for Pinkerton. And now Leeds unchecked along that far sideline, but he misfires a pass. It's too strong for Adam Scala. And in the end, the Cardinals will have it with 14 seconds remaining on the Cardinal penalty.
Yeah, I got to think that fatigue is starting to set in, even though it's only the second quarter here. A lot of batted down balls, a lot of lazy throws, and misfires, as you said. And that's not normal in these two teams.
Yeah, these turnovers starting to pile up uncharacteristically in the first half here. 80-degree weather. First high temperatures really in a while.
Ooh, like that. That's just fatigue.
And Santa Massimo lost it on the split dodge attempt, and now Coach Cameron trying to calm everybody down here with a timeout. It'll come with 3.5 remaining until halftime. 5-3 is the Bishop Guertin lead, and the Cardinals will have the ball.
Well, you got to think that that is what we're seeing right now, because there's a little bit of a heat factor here. I'm sure it's a lot hotter down there in the field, and in my opinion, this is a great timeout for not only BG but for both teams. They got to catch their breath here, get some water, and then starts fresh for the remaining 3.5 minutes here.
Well, again, we want to thank Champ Pro for providing the official lacrosse balls of the NHIAA for today's championship, and also Northwest Design Inc. Championship apparel is available on site now, right here at the stadium. From our partners at Northwest Designs Inc. Commemorate your championship experience with an event, tee, or sweatshirt today. And the store links are up at NHIAA.org. Nick Anastas, Roger Howe. Another installment of the best rivalry in New Hampshire lacrosse. BG and Pinkerton. The 12th meeting since 2005 in the state final between these two schools, the first since 2019.
And the last time that these two teams met, as you mentioned, in 19 and 18, only 2-goal games, both of those, 11-9, and I think the other one was 14-12, if I'm not mistaken. But they've always been very close games. There's never been a real blowout for either team during those 12 meetings.
Yeah, some classics for sure. They went back and forth for the better part of last decade. And again, a potential special moment for Coach Cameron as well. If the Cardinals can win, he would match Pinkerton's athletic director, Brian O'Reilly, with 12 state championship rings. Shot low. That one sailed about 6 inches above the carpet before it flies out of play. Dumont with that low release.
Yeah, LeBlanc not happy with Cam Leeds on that. Letting Dumont play shooting practice. Out, see?
This one flies away from Bouvier.
Now, Bouvier just cleared that ball from the 30-yard line and made a full steam effort running that. And if that isn't a little bit of fatigue off of him throwing the ball like that.
Very rare mistake for the senior who has scored 3 goals here in this first half.
Absolutely.
3 minutes to go. Astros
gotta go.
Looking for their first goal in a while. They trail by 2. Santa Massimo is ridden here by Alex Dumont. And now Coach Gaudreau is going to use his second and final timeout of this first half.
Yeah, and another good one. Another good one. Take the pressure off the defense. Get your offense out there. Give them a breath. This is a good timeout as well.
Yeah. Well, 5-3 our score. Pinkerton, Roger, they scored their third goal, a little over a minute gone by in the second quarter, but have been held off the scoreboard since. What has BG been doing defensively that has disrupted things for Pinkerton?
Well, nothing, really. I think it's been Pinkerton. They've thrown the ball away. They haven't been good on ground balls, and they've gotten the ball taken away from them in the scrum pile. And this is something that, lacrosse generally boils down to is, can you keep the ball off the ground, number one? And then if it is on the ground, are you dominating on ground balls? And it appears that the Cardinals are doing that right now. Yeah. I also think, and there's noticeable differences in the way these two teams are riding and clearing. Pinkerton is not pressing down with their attack in their zone ride, which is allowing someone like Gabord or Canaway to take the ball low in their defensive zone and clear it very easily because they just get ahead of steam and they go, whereas BG is trapping still in the middle, but they're pressing on the ball all the time. So there's noticeable differences right there that I'm seeing, and we'll keep an eye on that as the game progresses.
I think Alex Dumont is putting together a pretty good first half here, very good first half. With that long pole, the junior on his way to Loyola has been really a problem, so to speak.
No,
for Pinkerton.
That's interesting because
there's a shot and a bounce.
Not
It's like
really.
Connerty got a piece there.
He did. It was off cage anyways, but I have a little different take on Alex Dumont in this first half, and it starts with the penalty he has.
Yeah, he did have the penalty.
And he had one failed shot early in the first quarter, if you recall, on the clear that was ill-advised. But otherwise, he's doing his job on LSM. That's for sure. To see like that.
It's a good play.
Good play.
That was BG's Dylan Young, who came over on the slide and knocked the ball loose. And now on the clear, here's Guerra. Near side, Lorando.
Ouch.
One more for Kiley, who fires and scores. Well, the 5'8" Tim Kiley knows how to maneuver in a crowd. As you can see there, pulls in the pass, waits a moment, and then creates the shot angle and capitalizes for his third goal here in the first half.
I think I've seen probably 6 or 7 BG games this year, and I can't recall not one of them where Timmy Kiley did not have a run of goals like that. That's his third straight this quarter, never mind his third of the game.
Right. 2 even strength goals and a man-up goal, all in this second quarter for Tim Kiley, the senior on his way to Sacred Heart. He, of course, also a part of a big lacrosse family. Standout brothers came through the program, and his sister part of that state championship-winning Bedford Bulldogs team. Final 100 seconds. Pinkerton, after leading through the first few minutes of this second quarter, have now surrendered 4 straight goals and hope to get one of their own here before halftime.
Yeah, they need this to kind of take momentum into the locker room.
Coach Gaudreau, former head coach at St. Anselm College, watching with his arms crossed at the bottom of the Pinkerton bench. As the Astros go to work, intercepted. That's the future Hofstra University commit, Colin Rourke, the senior with the interception behind the cage for Bishop Guertin. Cardinals go up the far sideline on the clear. Hughes is going to look for the trailer. Alex Dumont, one more for Brady, who fires a shot from a tough angle that sails wide, and BG will keep it here with less than a minute to go in this first half.
Yeah, listen, it's only a matter of time before Brady Dumont capitalizes on this. That's about his 4th shot from that position that he shot it wide or low. You can't give him that kind of space. None of these guys can you give that kind of space.
40 seconds. BG looking for a 4-goal advantage. Bouvier going to spin, sets up Gabord near side. And he'll circle back to the top. Final timeout here is going to be used by Coach Cameron. He's got something in mind with just inside of 30 seconds remaining.
I just looked down at my score sheet to see if BG had a timeout, because with that 30-second ticking, that's generally what you want to see when you've got that in your back pocket. Yeah, I expect them to come out, probably in a 1-4 if Pinkerton decides to come back out in zone. And this might be a good time where the defense does shift up and changes to man and just give them a different look here and try and shake things up a little bit.
Well, there's Coach Cameron. We'll have a quick word with Alex Dumont there. In the hunt for ring number 12 today. That would match former head coach at Pinkerton, Brian O'Reilly, who, of course, is still the athletic director. Those two Titans would be even at 12 rings apiece if BG can win their 3rd straight state championship today.
And what you just saw there, that little caption of Coach Cameron down there talking to Alex Dumont, that's what we call in coaching filling the tank. He really let Alex Dumont have it after that penalty on the bench. I could see him down there really giving it to him. This is kind of the first break after that, and he gives him a little pat on the back and tells him, hey, let's pull this together and get it going.
There he is. That's Brian O'Reilly, of course, the AD. Taking things in there in the red shirt to the right. Of course, he's still the head football coach, and he's got 11 or 12 of those rings as well, as we know.
Crazy.
All right. Pinkerton, defensively here, going to chat it up and look to hold BG off the board for the final 29 seconds. Cardinals a chance to build on their largest lead.
Yep, they stay in zone.
Brady Dumont, far side. Lorando behind the cage, looks at the clock. We're down to 10 seconds.
Watch for the cutter through the middle here.
Gabord able to shift, come middle, draw a flag. Shot ends up wide, but penalty on the way. Gabord paid the price, knocked down in the process.
Cam with a slash.
Slash against Cam Leeds, the senior, on his way to St. Joseph's, Maine in the fall, on his way to the penalty box right now.
And they'll just hold it.
With just 3.7 seconds remaining. BG will look towards the third quarter, where they will begin with the possession if they can run out the final 3.7 here, and they will. So that will do it for the first half here in Exeter. Pinkerton built up an early 3-2 lead to begin the second quarter, and then Bishop Guertin scored 4 in a row. Tim Kiley with 3 of those 4 in that stretch, and Bishop Guertin halfway home to another state title, doubling up Pinkerton at the midway point, 6-3.
Yeah, it's what we expected in terms of the competitiveness of this. However, BG does what they have done so often throughout Coach Cameron's career, at least, is that they get a run going, pull it out, and pull away 6-3 here with not the way you want to go into the locker room if you're Steve Gaudreau and the Astros with not only a 3-goal deficit, but you're going to be in the box to start the second half.
Coming up in just a few moments, we'll look back at that first half, stats, highlights, analysis, plus a look ahead at the remaining schedule here on Championship Sunday. We've got a Division III championship to get to at 5 o'clock, and then at 7:30, it's the Division II battle. So a lot for us to review and preview coming up in just a few moments. Halftime here in Exeter, 6-3, BG on top of Pinkerton. You are watching the 2023 NHIAA Boys Lacrosse Division I State Championship game right here on Friday Night Lights, New Hampshire, in conjunction with the NFHS Network.
Our broadcast today, as it always is brought to you by Beals Insurance Agency, with locations now in both Bedford and Londonderry. Whether you need home, auto, or business insurance, Beals Insurance will get you both the price and quality coverage that's right for you. Just call 603-471-9999 or visit BealsInsurance.com to request a free quote and start saving money today. Again, that's BealsInsurance.com. The New Hampshire Tomahawks promote the highest level of club lacrosse competition, not just in the state, but in the country. Looking to get recruited? Director Chris Cameron keeps an open dialogue with the nation's top college lacrosse coaches. Over 400 New Hampshire Tomahawks alumni have played at the college level, including the ACC, Big East, Big Ten, Ivy, NESCAC, NE10, and more. The New Hampshire Tomahawks coaching staff has over 100 coaches, including current high school, varsity, and college coaches. The Tomahawks offer training for players of all ages, clinics, camps, and leagues, along with spring, summer, and fall elite teams. So play with the best. The New Hampshire Tomahawks, showcase and development for college lacrosse. Visit NewHampshireTomahawks.com and girls.nhtomahawks.com. How can you reach your team's fundraising goals at no risk and no cost? MG Sports offers a variety of products to make your team's fundraiser a success. Their products include tickets and discount cards to hundreds of local businesses. MG Sports now has a digital platform where athletes can raise funds in the comfort and safety of their own home. So become another lacrosse program like Bedford, Goffstown, or Memorial that sets fundraising records every season. MG Sports, fundraising made easy. Visit mgsportsfundraising.com to start raising money for your team today. Are you thinking of selling your home? Well, now may be the time, given that spring is here, the market is hot, and interest rates remain at all-time lows. It's time to call Roger Howe, a licensed professional realtor with the Bean Group. Not sure what your home is worth? Roger will provide a market analysis for you at no charge. With 12 years experience in residential, commercial, leasing, and investment properties, Roger knows your local market. So contact Roger Howe of the Bean Group today.
Buy local and save big. For over 26 years, Spectrum Monthly has been providing great local offers from businesses in New Hampshire and Massachusetts, delivered to your mailbox every month. Spectrum is chock full of savings from your favorite businesses. From local restaurants and retail stores to entertainment, fitness, and home improvement services. You'll have easy access to thousands of dollars in savings, including exclusive offers for Spectrum readers. Every month, enter our readership contest for a chance at winning cash and local gift certificates. Spectrum Monthly. No one brings you better offers.
Halftime here in Exeter. Bishop Guertin out in front of Pinkerton 6-3 here in the 2023 NHIAA Boys Lacrosse Division I State Championship game. Nick Anastas, Roger Howe with you from Friday Night Lights, New Hampshire. We're broadcasting, of course, in conjunction with the NFHS Network all day. The first of 3 state championship games here at Bill Ball Stadium. And the latest chapter in really the premier rivalry, at least in Division I, Bishop Guertin and Pinkerton, the 12th meeting over the last 19 seasons, and the top-seeded and defending champion Cardinals looking like it in that first half, especially in that second quarter. Cardinals got on the board first. Connor Bouvier scored with a little over a minute gone by to make it 1-0. Pinkerton responded with an EMO goal from sophomore Benjamin Quintilani. With about 5 minutes gone by, it was 1-1. Then 12 seconds later, Michael Uber gave Pinkerton their first lead of 2-1. That was short-lived, however. Less than 2 minutes later, at about the midway point first quarter, Aiden Laurendo hooked up with Bouvier and scored near the cage to tie the game at 2, and that was our score at the end of the first quarter. Second quarter, Pinkerton looked like they were ready to hang around. Adam Scala again put Pinkerton out in front, 3-2. With about a minute gone by in that second quarter. Then BG went on a run. Bouvier got his second to tie the game at 3, and then Tim Kiley scored 3 straight, including one with just outside of 2 minutes remaining in that first half. And here we are at the midway point, 6-3 Bishop Guertin, with the start of the third quarter right around the corner.
Yeah, I suspect that we're going to see a goaltender change. Might be Will Murphy starting the second half for Bishop Guertin. Not surprised. I mean, we saw equal amounts of those 2 goaltenders this season, so that's not a surprise at all. Pinkerton's got to stop with the mistakes. They've got to rectify the unforced errors and the poor stick work and the lackadaisical riding, especially on Bishop Guertin's clear. And they've got to retain the ball. The second quarter was a telltale sign that they looked tired to me, as they could not hold on to the ball, whether it was errant passes or getting the ball checked out of their sticks, which is just not a trait that we're used to seeing with the Astros. So they've got to buckle down. They're only 3 goals down, but they need to kill this penalty to start the game, and it's going to start with Cole Frank. He's got to get possession for them right away, and then we'll get back to a little normal, 10-on-10 play.
All right, start of the third quarter, BG will have possession due to the penalty with less than 4 seconds remaining committed by Pinkerton just before halftime. So BG for the next 57 or so seconds will be on their third man up of the afternoon.
We got a little tete-a-tete going on down there. Not
well,
sure.
The Astros are heading back into the locker room.
Yeah, A.D. O'Reilly came out and said something to the referee corps.
Yeah, we got Coach O'Reilly now heading back towards his seat in the corner. See Jeff Collins, the president of the NHIAA, over there in that corner as well. But the bigger movements were the players leaving the field just a moment ago and heading back into the locker room for Pinkerton. BG, meanwhile, they're going to continue to warm up, it looks like, as they begin to play catch along their sideline.
Oh, I know what
now
it was.
The Astros are coming back out.
Well, here's the issue. You got 2 teams coming in and 2 teams leaving the field. They had to get all their gear out of the locker room, and I don't think that that's what they had done.
In advance of the Division III state championship which is coming up at 5 o'clock Eastern.
Yeah, so you
That
got
makes
Campbell
sense.
and Hopkinton probably banging on the locker room doors. There's
Right.
not multiple locker rooms here at the stadium, but that is exactly what that was about. So everybody's grabbed their backpacks and everything else.
Well, I'm glad you brought that up. We're going to see Campbell and Hopkinton, the latest installment of the D3 championship. Campbell, of course, led by Coach Knight, who's the athletic director there and a former player at Syracuse. And Deacon Blue has got his guys back in the state championship game as a 5 seed as they knocked off previously unbeaten Bow in the semifinals the other night.
And had a great conversation yesterday morning with Coach Kyle Devitt, his assistant, who's essentially his offensive coordinator. And what an exciting game. Coach Devitt, who has been around for a long, long time, has played collegiate ball, has been all over the PLL. He's a commentator, had been a writer for Inside Lacrosse. He said that was the best high school game he has ever been a part of, and they won that in OT, as you said. So,
all right, it looks like now we're ready to go. And Laurendale, given the ball in the far corner, will restart. So BG with an EMO here for the next 50-plus seconds. Hoping for a 7-3 lead, which would be their largest to date. Up top, Gabord.
ouch, hit a body.
One didn't get through. It's loose in the crease, and Moran going to take it out. It's a good job there by Jacob Karen, rather. Not Moran, it was Karen who got to it. Able to fight off several Astros there to keep it at this end. 25 remaining on the EMO. Bouvier's got room. Look out. Goes upstairs, and that's the hat trick. Well, I thought he had 3, Roger, in the first half. I was mistaken. He only had 2 and an assist. Now we know he's got 3. It comes with 17 seconds remaining in the penalty, and it's 7-3 Bishop Guertin.
Yeah, and he had the mic on you from halftime when you and I were chatting because he didn't want to let you down. I've said it 100 times this year. You can't leave Bouvier open with 10 yards of field in front of him. It's not going to work. The goalie's guessing at that point. It's so hard to see that ball.
Meanwhile, Cole Frank, who won 7 of the 11 faceoffs in the first half for Pinkerton, is going to win another here, the junior. Able to avoid a check along that far side and get his club in business here on the attack. Here's Fioli. He was shut out in that first half. Got to credit Finn Moran for that, the long pole. All over him. Fioli, of course, had 5 goals the other night against Exeter. All right, here's Quintilani. Shovel one near side for Santa Massimo. A little shake and bake.
Oh, get it going, kid.
Draws a slide, lost his stick
again?
and the ball. This one picked up on the move by Noah Guerrera for BG, and now the Cardinals come the other way. One Dumont to another. The pass, though, is off target.
Yeah, I'm not sure if Cam Leeds got a piece of that, but he was right there toe-to-toe with Brady Dumont, and the pass goes out of bounds. But this is where I got to say Joey Gallo's absence has got to be making a difference. Santa Massino stepping in that position. He looks really tired. He just didn't seem to want to get going there on that dodge, and he just got jumped.
Uber wins the foot race near side. Goes around Moran on the switch.
Don't lose it.
Coming middle. Hooks up with a shot from Lynch. Won't get through. It's loose now, and Rourke is going to get there on the far side for Bishop Guertin. Good play again by the Hofstra commit. As this BG defense, Roger, has been pretty stifling. The last Pinkerton goal came at the 10:42 mark of the second quarter.
Yeah, and again, their pursuit and persistence on the ball, no matter where it is on the field, is what's paying off for them and has paid off for them.
Just over 2 minutes gone by, third quarter now. And again, BG threatening to go up 5 for the first time.
Yeah, I don't think we mentioned Colin Rourke's name the entire game against Merrimack. Not that there was any reason to, have him be matched up.
Sometimes that's a good thing, right? If you're a defender.
Well, that's what I was
mentioned.
about to say. Yeah. He obviously shut his attackman down. Although Merrimack didn't have a huge amount of possessions on offense that night, but it's good to see him rise here when he has to.
That was an 18-1 final score. Bishop Guertin, no problem with Merrimack in the semifinal round. Tomahawks, though, had a good year, reaching the semifinals for the first time in program history. All right, Bishop Guertin, again, taking their time. We saw this in the first half.
Yep. Into 1-4 again, pretty consistently here. They're just rotating the wings, as you can see here.
There's Micah Dunsmore, the junior, with a rare touch. He's left open up top. Dunsmore stumbles. Ball is out.
All good. Oh, I don't like that. No.
They're going to tag up Henry here?
No, and they waved it off.
Oh, we got a timeout.
Okay.
Coach Cameron going to bail his guys out from the sideline.
Yeah, and I don't think he really needed to do that because it looked like there was going to be a hold on Pinkerton, and he would have gotten the ball anyways.
Timeout comes with 3.5 gone by in this third quarter. Well, from graduations to birthdays, yard greetings can make any occasion more memorable. Let New England Yard Greetings spell out your personalized message. Learn more at newyanglandyardgreetings.com, and also by Service Credit Union. Proud to offer School Spirit debit cards for NHIAA schools. Visit NHIAA.org to learn how to sign up for your school, earn cash bonuses for your programs, and spread your school spirit. Plenty of school spirit in the crowd here at Bill Ball Stadium. First of 3 straight championship games here on Championship Sunday. A lot of Pinkerton red, as we know. They travel well really everywhere, Roger, in every sport. It's been another successful calendar year for Pinkerton. But right now, their team with work to do, trailing 7-3 with 3.5 gone by in this third quarter.
Yeah, let's, while we have a quick break here, let's give a shout-out to the officiating corps here. Tim McCaffrey's the head ref. Sean Murphy, Tim Bethke, and Jim Pressure running the box here. Can't get any better than this.
And as you mentioned, Roger, the Pinkerton staff with decals on their hats today, right?
Yeah, Gordy, in honor of Gordy Lewis, the longtime head coach at Plymouth State, who sadly passed away a few weeks ago. Ran that program for many, many years, and was the head coach at Nashua High School back in 1995 when they won their first and only state championship. So our condolences to Gordy and his family, and certainly thank him for his contribution to New Hampshire lacrosse. He's quite a legend.
4 minutes gone by, third quarter. Again, Bishop Guertin in no hurry as they continue to cycle it around the perimeter. Now Brady Dumont wants one. Again, it's wide.
He's not going to like his shooting percentage by the end of the game today. I think he's missed a net at least 5 or 6 times.
Hasn't really had that clean of a look, though, right?
The far side here, when they were in the second quarter, he got a couple of good looks low, if you recall, and they just whistled by. But, yeah, you're right. He's got a really tough angle down there low on that wing.
Here's Gabord. He's yet to score as well.
Well,
he's going to score right here. May have heard me.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Going to step down and beat LeBlanc to his left for his first goal of the afternoon. BG up 5 at 8-3.
Yeah, one of the most understated moves in offensive dodging and in lacrosse is that little hitch move you see him make. So he is getting the defender, Ridge Crossman, here to commit. And that just gives him enough time to take that little sidestep, 1 or 2, and bang it. And believe me, no one in the starting 6, 7, 8 Cardinals needs much space to get their arms free and get power behind it.
Here's Cole Frank. Going to scoop this one off the carpet with one hand, flip it over for Uber, who's got some room. The step-down bouncer is over the top of the cage and out of play.
Yeah, they need him to get going. Uber's got to take that spot that Joey Gallo has left behind. As you said, 3-year starter, 4-year starter, I think, and he really needs to start directing things.
It was a good play by Rourke. Took that one off the bounce behind the cage with the long pole for BG. And now the Cardinals look to work out of their own end here on the clear. Guerrera up the far sideline. Plenty of space as he crosses the 50.
Yeah, I still don't like the way the Astros are riding here. They're dropping back into that attack zone, what we call a third. Watch this.
Oh, it's Karen. Left open near the net, and he finishes. A breakdown defensively, perhaps, by Pinkerton. The Cardinals capitalize. It's 9-3, and now we have a timeout from Coach Gaudreau.
Yeah, and you literally have to call this timeout here. This is something that we have seen at literally every game we've done over the last 3-4 years with Bishop Guertin, and that is the depth of their roster. They're putting fresh bodies out there time and time again in a game like this where it's so hot and it's fast-paced. They've got numbers that they can just filter in and continue to wear down the starting 10 of the opponent, and it's clearly showing here. When you start giving up goals to Karen like that with literally no pressure, this is a warranted timeout.
Well, they have 16 NCAA commits, which
I've never seen as many.
Is about as deep as it gets. Karen, who scored a moment ago, of course, he's going to stay local and play at St. Ansem. And it really ranges from, some of those mid-level / high-level Division I schools to competitive D2 schools and locally even at D3. So a plethora of talent to work with for Coach Cameron, and some of that depth starting to show here as we approach the midway point third quarter.
Yes, indeed. I would even go as far to say, with the exception of maybe Merrimack, who is just making their way in Division I after dominating in Division II, especially the NE10, Army, Villanova, Stony Brook, Hofstra, Holy Cross, Sacred Heart, Siena, Loyola, Bryant. Those are not slouch D1 schools. They're not at the bottom. They're
tournament teams.
They're in the bracket.
Right.
Oh, yeah. Call them bracket teams. They're there.
All right. Pinkerton trying to wrestle themselves possession here at midfield, and BG's going to win it in the end. It's the Hofstra commit, Colin Rourke, doing some things here in the ground ball game for BG.
He's been a playmaker today.
Cardinals will settle down. Brady Dumont wants one for himself. Tough angle shot swallowed up by LeBlanc up near the helmet. Another save for the senior. Outlet pass is juggled at midfield, but eventually hauled in by Jacob No, the senior defender, but No in trouble. Lost his footing. Rourke again is there for the Cardinals. And BG safely going to find some space and again launch an attack here as we hit the midway point third quarter.
Yeah, a lot of twigs on the ground today with the Astros. Unprecedented.
Well, the ride has been strong for BG. And the defense has kept the Astros off the board since the first 100 seconds of the second quarter. Coming up in 5 minutes remaining here in the third. Defense shifting. Gabord goes across the zone to Bouvier, who never quite had it. He'll recover unchallenged, though, in front of the Pinkerton bench and keep it here for BG. Now Gabord, little jab step, frees himself up. LeBlanc is ready. Again, makes that save about chest high for Pinkerton. And now the Astros will work on the clear game with 5 minutes to go, third quarter. In the middle, Santamassimo met by Gabord. Going to bounce off the check and head along the sideline for the clear. Now he's got his eye on the cage. Pass out in front, reeled in by Uber, who lost the ball in the spin move. And Alex Dumont is going to come the other way for Bishop Guertin. He'll clear it himself. The senior has got numbers. Laurendo behind the back for Karen, who finishes. Shot and score. Flag is going to fly. He took a shot from Leeds after the release. And Bishop Guertin starting to roll here. It's 10-3 with 4.5 remaining third quarter.
Yeah, this is indicative of that collapsing, menacing, persistent defense that starts off at the Cardinals' defensive end and gets in there. A legal body check is going to be the call on Cam Leeds, and he just laid him out. He laid out Karen.
And we get a good look at it there from our sideline cameraman, Matt Beals. I thought Laurendo went behind the back with that. It was kind of
It
was a no look.
Yeah.
Was it actually around the back?
Yeah, it was around the back. Yeah.
It was pretty. Either way.
Yeah. That's the one they'll remember at the reunion 10 years from now.
Meanwhile, Leeds is in the box and Pinkerton shorthanded as Bishop Guertin goes to work for the next minute with a man advantage.
Oh.
And look out, Laurendo again. Able to tiptoe along the edge of the crease. Ends up out in front, and he's got his second goal this afternoon.
Yeah, what's that, about 12, 13 seconds into that EMO?
Yep, 13.
Yeah, that's what we call a technical foul EMO when you get it in under 30 seconds when you've got a full minute. So,
Roger, the run now is 9 straight for Bishop Guertin.
Yeah. To me, it's all about fatigue right now. It's about fatigue. My opinion, the BG is rotating the ball so quickly on the perimeter that the zone can't catch up with the wings on the rotation, and it's time to go man-to-man here, I think.
Vasquez for Karen. Tried to fire, but never quite had it. It's loose near side. Crossman in the mix for Pinkerton. And now about 5 players each way in the scrum, including Frank. But in the end, it's Brady Dumont who gets to it for BG. Karen got a back pedal with Leeds closing in on him. We're back to even strength. We're inside of 4 minutes remaining third quarter. And BG is firmly in the driver's seat here with possession out in front 11-3.
Absolutely.
Well, the wind's starting to pick up a bit here in Exeter. Temperature still about 80 degrees here, and still a big crowd on hand. First of 3 state championship games here in Exeter. BG looking for a 3rd straight in Division I, and a 12th overall under head coach Chris Cameron, which would tie him with former head coach at Pinkerton Brian O'Reilly with 12 state championships. All right, Cardinals continuing to work. As we approach 3 minutes, Brady Dumont looks low. That one goes wide. Senior continuing to fire. No, the junior. He'll be back next year. That's a scary thought.
Yeah, it is.
He's a Villanova commit, as we know. Here's Young. Behind the net, Laurendo wants one himself. He's going to sweep it around and beat LeBlanc to that far post for the score. Hat trick time for Laurendo, his 2nd straight. And BG kind of high-stepping their way to the end zone at this point with 3 minutes to go in the third quarter. It's 12-3.
Yeah, it's hard to really pick up. Another timeout here for Pinkerton.
Yep. Coach Gaudreau hoping to stop the bleeding.
Yeah, I'm intently watching the movement of the zone that the Astros are running here, and that middle part of the zone that is kind of gone in and out of backer zone. They're not quite in backer right now. They're hedging towards it, but they're letting that backside kind of do its own thing without playing the guy at X. But conversely, when they're hedging on goal line extended to cover the guy at X, they're leaving the top open, and it's harder for the guys when the ball is being moved up to the top, and in this case it was Caleb Young, number 5. There's just no coverage up top. And then they finally get up top, and Caleb Young finds the backside again, and Laurendo just basically strolls to goal line extended, hardly gets over goal line extended, and puts the ball in the back of the net. They just look tired. They look tired, and sometimes when you change up your defense, normally from man to zone, you can mix things up pretty good, but they may be so fatigued and tired right now that going to man may not even be a choice for them. They are double polling up here.
Noah Zeman, the senior, on his way to Riviere. At X here for BG, and he wins it. Able to beat Frank. Go down the middle and lose his stick. Had it chopped away at the last moment. However, the Cardinals will keep it as Carter Jazokos, the junior, comes up at the ground ball, getting his first playing time here with inside of 3 minutes to go third quarter. Chance to go up 10 for the first time.
Yeah, a couple of non-starters in there right now.
Bouvier, look out. Shot, score, took a shot there from Leeds again, had a word for the defender. After he beats LeBlanc upstairs, it's 13-3.
Well, here's the Bouvier that we know and love. He goes opposite, weak side on LeBlanc. LeBlanc gives him a ton of net to shoot at, and he just plucks it. Easy enough.
It's now 4 goals in the last 2-12 for BG.
Well, it's 3-3 on faceoff so far this quarter. So, I'm sorry, I'm way off. Nope, that's not the number.
No?
Nope.
This time it's Vasquez against Frank, and they're pinned down. Still loose. The wings come in. Guerrera's in the mix for BG, but it's Pinkerton's Uber, who escapes the melee with possession, trying to avoid Alex Dumont is another challenge. He's going to spin. He's going to get inside the defender. He's going to fire. Crossbody shot goes out of play, just wide. And Pinkerton will keep it here as Fioli gets set for the restart with 2 minutes to go.
Ooh.
Long pass for Quinolani, contested. It's still on the ground. Dumont again in the mix. Now he's surrounded by red. Has some help from his teammate Moran, who loses his balance in the ball. Scooped up by Santamassimo for Pinkerton.
Good non-call there.
He's going to pinball his way back to the middle, and finally the Astros have a little bit of space. Henry floats one overhanded near side.
No help.
Reeled in by Brendan Carney. And the freshman is going to come near side. What do we got here?
Failure.
Whistle.
Failure to advance.
Yeah, they're going to give it to BG. Comes with a minute 25 remaining. Kind of a tough call there, isn't it?
No, I think it's the right call because, I mean, again, the Cardinals are just not giving up on the ball no matter where it is.
You know, that's Crossman harassing Bishop Guertin's attackman along the sideline. The ball goes out of play, and Pinkerton forcing a turnover. Pretty good defensive effort. Now they clear with Quintilani. And we're down to 1 minute here, third quarter. BG, their largest lead on the board. And they'll force another turnover as it's Rourke who comes away with the ground ball. Going to float a rainbow pass near side. Handled by Moran. Put some touch on that one for Charlie Bellavance. And it's advanced eventually up the sideline for Michael Ponto, the sophomore attackman. We're down to 35 seconds.
Ouch.
Pass to the middle, reeled in by Young on the spin, and then the shot is redirected by a leaping LeBlanc. Kept inbounds along that far side by Ponto, and we're down to 20 seconds.
It's amazing he didn't end up in the crease on that. Good footwork.
Good board. Wants a one-on-one with Santamassimo. Comes near side, draws a slide, picked up on the switch by Scala. Down to 10 seconds. Goes around the defender, launches one in close that's swallowed up high by LeBlanc. Down to 3 seconds. Going to fire his own shot the length of the field. It's handled on the bounce by the BG goaltender Will Murphy, and we have come to the end of the third quarter. Bishop Guertin dominating here in Exeter. 13-3 after 3. They look to cross the finish line and grab their third straight title when we come back. Fourth quarter is next. You are watching the 2023 NHIAA Boys Lacrosse Division I State Championship right here on Friday Night Lights New Hampshire, broadcasting in conjunction with the NFHS Network.
Our broadcast today, as it always is brought to you by Beals Insurance Agency, with locations now in both Bedford and Londonderry. Whether you need home, auto, or business insurance, Beals Insurance will get you both the price and quality coverage that's right for you. Just call 603-471-9999 or visit BealsInsurance.com to request a free quote and start saving money today. Again, that's BealsInsurance.com.
I'm not that fortunate. All right, fourth quarter here in Exeter. Bishop Guertin flexing their muscles, looking for a third straight championship here in Division I. Nick Anastas, Roger Howe with you. This was a 3-2 Pinkerton lead, with just over a minute gone by in the second quarter, and since then, it's been all Cardinals. Hat tricks for Aiden Lorendo, Connor Bouvier, and Tim Kiley for Bishop Guertin. And Roger, they have rattled off 11 unanswered goals here with 12 minutes now remaining. It's all but seemingly inevitable now for BG.
Yeah, I would say so, and it's just amazing to see what they've done. They did this same thing to Boston College. I mean, they ran the table in the fourth quarter in that game. In this game, they ran the third quarter. 7 goals unanswered.
Ended the first half with 4 straight as well. And a quick restart is going to result in an errant pass. Lorendo the first to it here near side for BG, but he's challenged in the mix by Jackson Chase, the sophomore for Pinkerton. And now a big crowd. Lorendo still with it, going to reverse direction and somehow escape. Floats a pass over the top for Gabord, and now Bishop Guertin hoping to settle in. Well, the Astros have really played their starters the whole way, Roger, as you pointed out. BG's depth has risen to the forefront here over the course of this hot afternoon, but nonetheless, Pinkerton took a step forward, I think, this year, as we know. Back in the championship game for the first time in 4 years. They beat Exeter in a playoff meeting for the first time in a while. This senior class, as we know, one of the more experienced and competitive that we've seen from the Astros in several seasons. So all in all, after a 13-5 regular season, a lot to be proud of if you're a Pinkerton player here this season.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. No, in the wise words of Giannis at the end of their playoff run,
right.
This season wasn't a failure. This season was just a step, and I readily agree with his wisdom in that statement. You're building towards the next season if this is where you're at.
Well, none of this crowd has gone anywhere here. A lot of support for both schools, and still a packed house here. First of 3 state championship games. Pinkerton and BG was the first of 3, and we'll see Hopkinton look to defend their Division III title against Campbell coming up at 5 o'clock Eastern. And then tonight, it's anybody's guess when it comes to Portsmouth and Derryfield in Division II. That one gets underway at 7:30.
I'll tell you what, both teams are ready. Both teams are ready for that game.
It's a rematch, of course, from about a month ago.
Michaud.
It was a Portsmouth 9-8 victory on the Seacoast.
So Curtis Michaud in for Tyler LeBlanc to start the fourth in goal.
We know Michaud. He's
look, here we
been
go.
the main starter more often than not the last couple of years. Fioli is knocked down.
Could have thrown a flag there.
He looked to the official, but no help there.
Kind of rode him on the back.
BG's Dylan Young involved on the clear, and now it's Alex Dumont on the other side of the 50 for BG. Hooks up with Brady Dumont, who finally lights the lamp. Going to change planes and go low to high there for his first goal. And the Cardinals lead by 11, 14-3.
Well, he's about 1 for 10 by my count. He's got a great shot. He has just had trouble pinpointing where he wanted to be with the end result there. And let's give Alex Dumont an assist on that.
Well, Brady Dumont, the Villanova commit. He'll be back next year. As we know, the Cardinals graduating a lot of players, but there's plenty of juniors and sophomores, even freshmen on this squad that have gotten valuable playing time this season. And that'll be back for Bishop Guertin, of course, next year.
Zeman gets the win on that. Bishop Guertin has held their own on faceoffs here in the second half.
3 minutes gone by, fourth quarter. Cardinals threatening to trigger a running clock if they can score their 15th goal. and take a 12-goal lead. That is the gap they need to achieve, 12 goals for a running clock.
Yeah, and there are no starters in the game right now for Cardinals.
Here's a shot for Carter Jazokos. Mishu's got his first save for Pinkerton. Now the Astros again will take their time on the clear. Mishu is out of the cage. Mishu going to feather a pass near side for the sophomore Quintilani, who lost his balance. Dumont is right there for BG. This one rolls out of bounds, and the Cardinals will have it.
Yep.
Just tenacious, Roger, today. The Cardinals on the ground ball game, they've played with energy. They've played physical, and they have kept Pinkerton off the scoreboard for the better part now of 3 quarters.
It starts with discipline. It starts with the wisdom of the coaching staff and the tenacity. And this is not new for them this season, especially this season. They will play the ball as hard as they possibly can, no matter where it is on the field. And they know the backup is there because they, like I said, they are disciplined.
There's a ground ball for Emerson Warren, not to cut you off.
Not at all, but, I mean, that's a prime example right there.
Alex Dumont wants one for himself, and he's got it.
Wow.
Well, that should put the cherry on the championship Sunday.
Yeah.
For Alex Dumont, the long stick midi headed to Loyola. He's a junior. He's been tenacious defensively today, and this time, Roger, you can't blame him. He's got a wide-open alley there.
Exactly. 14 yards out, winding up. He's gone from the doghouse in the first quarter to the penthouse in the fourth, and he's had a great second half here, so good for him. Good for him.
That'll open up the clock as well here.
Yeah,
in just a moment.
I love it when defenseman Paul LSM has the kind of success that he's had today.
And as a former defenseman yourself, what's he feeling down there after getting a goal here?
Give me the ball.
Give
me the ball. Well, that task's over with. He's all about team right now. Not that he wasn't before, but
meanwhile, Lynch knocked off balance, and another BG goaltender is going to get to it as we look at Liam O'Keefe, third different netminder today, takes over for Will Murphy, who played the third quarter. Of course, the starter, Zach Connerty, was done after the first half.
Yeah,
we're 5 minutes in now, fourth quarter, and again, BG in cruise control here out in front 15-3.
Yeah. I'll elaborate on that comment to say this, that, he will say 10 years from now, 20 years from now at the reunion, hey, do you remember I scored that goal that made the running clock and kind of iced the championship for us in 2023? And it's something that a defenseman will never forget. Never forget.
All right. Another turnover. Astros will take it as we near the midway point, fourth quarter. So Coach Cameron in line to win his 12th state championship since arriving at the school in 2004. Going to do it over Pinkerton for I don't know how many times now. I'd have to add it up here, but this is the 12th meeting between these two schools since Coach Cameron had been there.
Well, this is going to tie it up between the
between the legends,
the O'Reilly factor and the
right,
and
of course Coach O'Reilly had them competitive in the 80s. Pinkerton.
Before
the
nice
sport
goal.
was sanctioned. Meanwhile, Uber going to score. Shoved the defender Charlie Bellavance after the goal, as if to send a message saying we're going to compete here for the final 5+ minutes.
I don't know what Charlie did here. Oh, gave him a little late pop here. That's what we're going to see. He beats his defender, and then Charlie lays a shoulder. That's lacrosse, bud. That's lacrosse.
Uber going to get his second. It also, Roger, breaks up a streak of 13 straight goals by BG.
Yeah. They needed Uber earlier in this half to really kind of dominate and take over. They're going to give
Meanwhile, Frank and Vasquez tangled up. They're going to give it to Frank.
Yeah, I thought he won that clean without the help of the official there.
Frank going to stay on here and look to attack. He's going to bowl his way to the net and
I love
score. Cole Frank
not
showing you what he can do, right? He had 3 the other night against Exeter, Roger. And Well, you could see there, he had his mind made up from the get-go.
Look at this, though. He has 3 Cardinals hanging on him. 1, 2, 3, another slash. He got everything on this play. And another slash, number 11. Wow. Good for Cole.
There he is right back at the X as well. Vasquez, is going to be called for the push there. He came in flying from behind. And those two are going to get a well-deserved break here with 4 minutes to go. Here's Santamassimo.
There he is. Oh, look at this.
Shot score.
26 to Fioli.
Yep. Was it Fioli or Scala? It was Scala.
Was it Scala?
Scala's second.
I'm just dying to call Fioli's name out. He hasn't.
He hasn't scored yet, but
no.
Fioli was instrumental the other night for them to get here with 5. And you knew BG had him on the radar. But how about Scala? He stepped up with 2 goals today. And again, Roger, both Scala, Santamassimo, some of these juniors getting some valuable experience here and will be the core, so to speak, of returnees next year.
Exactly. Same as what the Cardinals are doing. There isn't a starter in the game right now.
So suddenly, 3 unanswered by Pinkerton. The span of about a minute and a half. Uber, Frank, Scala. Makes this thing a little more respectable in the end at 15-6, but we're down to 3 minutes. Santamassimo going to fire on the run. Got jammed up on the release. And a good play by O'Keefe out of the cage to get to it for Bishop Guertin.
Yeah, and the defense, again, tenacious on pursuit here. Good trail check by Alex Dumont. Throws Santamassino's shot off. That's about the 3rd time I think Santamassino has been disrupted.
Right. Meanwhile, good clear here by the Cardinals. Rourke goes up the field to King, and now King going to slow down in that far corner with 2.5 to go. Coming up here in just a few moments, we'll bring it down to the field for the trophy presentation, the awards ceremony for both Pinkerton and BG. So plenty to get to in the postgame. Full recap, stats, highlights, and again, awards ceremony coming up in just a few minutes.
Yeah, so you mentioned Owen King, number 40 out there on attack right now, the only freshman on the playoff roster. So he must have some special skills and, one to think about or watch in the future here for Coach Cameron and the Cardinals.
I'm sure that's a name we'll get familiar with over the next few seasons.
Yeah. Very heavy upperclassmen roster for the Cardinals out of the 50 or so boys he had on his in-season roster.
Coming up on the final 90 seconds here. Backdoor feed, not quite ready, was Kyle Mock, the junior. Henry the other way for Pinkerton. And now Fioli on the move. Fioli down the middle.
Why not?
Fioli shot wide.
He got whacked hard off the hip, right off the hip.
And hit on the right side. Meanwhile, Lynch able to duck and weave. He's in a crowd. He spins. He fires an underhanded shot. And the flags are going to fly here with a minute remaining.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, another BG goaltender, Mike McDonough, the junior, getting some experience here in the state championship.
I think we're going to get a hold. Oh no, we're going to get a slash. It's going to be on number 20, Sam Patnode.
The junior defenseman down on his left knee in the penalty box.
Yeah.
A rare BG penalty. They're only, I believe, in the second half.
Yeah, and it's...
Fioli shot low. McDonough's there for the save. Goes up the middle for Alex Dumont. Cardinals have an extra player here on the EMO, but they're not going to need it with just 20 seconds remaining. Looking to run out the clock. And Coach Cameron's Cardinals, for the 12th time, are set to win the Division I state championship. It'll be the 3rd in a row, and it's a special one for Coach Cameron, as he has now tied the legendary Brian O'Reilly for most state championships as a head coach with 12. It is all over here in 2023. Division I, once again, belongs to Bishop Guertin. They win it in a blowout over Pinkerton by a final score of 15-6.
Wow. the comments I made earlier about close games in the last couple of years that these two teams have met certainly went right out the window. Don't ask me for betting advice in the future, I guess is all I have to say. But congratulations to the Cardinals. Congratulations to Coach Cameron. And I'm just I'm thrilled for him, especially with the success that he's seen since 2004.
Yeah. Well, there are the Cardinals on the field, celebrating their third straight. And again, Coach O'Reilly's down there on the field with the runner-up medals for the Astro players. And some folks seeking the exits here. Others are going to stick around for the awards ceremony. This one seemed promising for Pinkerton early on. They scored, on an EMO about midway through the first quarter to tie the game at 1. Connor Bouvier, of course, for BG, got the scoring going in the first minute or so of the game. But Pinkerton tied it, and then 12 seconds later took the lead on a Michael Uber goal. 2-1 was the Astro lead. It was brief. Aiden Laurendo, a minute or so later, scored for BG 2-2, and that was our score at the end of the first quarter. Pinkerton again grabbed the lead. A little over a minute gone by in the second quarter. Adam Scala made it 3-2 Astros, but that was when the BG machine really got going on both ends. The Cardinals keep the Astros off the scoreboard for the final 10:42 of the first half. And during that span, they rattle off 4 straight. Bouvier tied the game at 3, and then Tim Kiley scored 3 straight, including one on the man up. So it was 6-3 BG at halftime, and that train gained some momentum in the third quarter as the Cardinals rattled off 7 more. Bouvier another, Connor Gabord. Jacob Karen scored 2 straight, followed by Laurendo's 2. And then Bouvier got his 4th with a little outside of 2 minutes remaining in that third quarter, and our score after 3 was 13-3. BG, the first 2 triggered the running clock of the fourth quarter. Brady Dumont, Alex Dumont in that order. Pinkerton, though, they go down swinging. Over the final 5+ minutes, they rattle off 3 straight. Uber, Cole Frank, and then Scala's second. And that'll do it. 15-6 is our final. The Cardinals, after a 15-3 regular season, go unbeaten in this postseason tournament. And again, dominate here on Championship Sunday.
Yes, good contest in the first half. Again, the difference in this game, third quarter, BG shuts out the Astros completely while scoring 7 as they started off with the ball, if you recall, with no face-off in the third quarter. So just a dominant performance by Bishop Guertin and the Cardinals.
Well, there are the Astros getting their runner-up medals. That is the athletic director and former head coach Brian O'Reilly, along with Coach Gaudreau, who is congratulating his players. Special moment, I'm sure, Roger, for the head coach and his seniors.
Yeah, and as I've said before, Steve Gaudreau is a very humble person. We interviewed him a few weeks ago on the Monday show, and he's deeply entrenched in the youth program there, and he's seen a lot of these guys since he was an assistant coach for Brian O'Reilly back in the day come up and see this success. But it's got to be heartbreaking for any senior out there that isn't holding a championship plaque above his head today.
Some of the final numbers, Roger. Pinkerton had an advantage for most of the day at the X with Cole Frank, but BG's combination of Vasquez and Zima certainly held their own.
Oh yeah, and especially in this fourth quarter, Cole Frank still was up 4-2 over the Cardinals, but it seemed in that third quarter that there was a lot more scrumming going on, and BG with their two-headed monster, as we've said, was able to tie things up and get the ball on the ground where Cole did not have the same pinch and pop success that we're used to seeing with him, especially in the first half. So, they definitely dominated. All three goaltenders for the Cardinals played in this game, and certainly with Connerty in the. Again, the Pinkerton Astros didn't, pepper this goaltender with shots, but that's still a good half for a goaltender.
All right, there's Coach Cameron. He's going to say goodbye, of course, to his seniors. There they are, by the way, posing for photos. Of course, a lot of those seniors, especially the starters, are going to continue their lacrosse careers at the next level. But I'd imagine kind of a bittersweet moment, as you touched on with Pinkerton, but with BG, of course, as well. You win the state championship, you accomplish the goal, but a little bit of sadness maybe that the journey is over, at least at the high school level. Yeah,
and then, this will live with them forever. I've been to many a game, as a club player, 40 years old, 50 years old, for as long as I played, and when we still get together, whether it's a Lake Placid tournament or a O'Neill, the old New England Lacrosse League that is pretty predominant in New England right now. That's what the guys talk about at the tailgate. They talk about the camaraderie they had, and hey, do you remember when? And it's a very special sport, not only when you win championships like this, but just especially now with the club lacrosse guys all know each other,
right? And
they see each other at tournaments even in the off season. So it's a special sport and a special time when you're a champion. Same if you're an All-American. If you get named to the All-American squad, it's one of those things you take with you forever, and it's a special thing.
And of course, a special moment, as we mentioned, for Coach Cameron. He's got both his sons down there helping out, part of the staff here over the last part of the season. And he's now done it 12 times. Along with Coach O'Reilly, of course, those two have their own space on Mount Rushmore, so to speak, when it comes to New Hampshire coaching lacrosse.
Yeah, and we've said this several times over the last few years, how great it is to see past players come into NHIAA lacrosse and take over head coaching jobs. Matt Brewster, we've talked about, and others. Devin Calkins up in Bow went undefeated this year. Don't be surprised if you see in the next couple of years Brian Cameron take over this program. And that's a take. You can mark it down. Not because I know anything. I'm just telling you. It's a distinct possibility that he takes over for his father in the coming years. So we'll see what's going on
at some point.
Okay, exactly.
Wouldn't write that down in pen just yet. All right,
not me.
Roger, want to thank some folks here, of course. Our collaboration at the NHIAA, of course, Jeff Collins and his crew. Our friend Don Boyle at the NFHS Network. Bill Ball here at Exeter High for.
Good to see Bill out here again.
The accommodations, of course. And our friends at Friday Night Lights, New Hampshire, our family at FNL NH Media. That includes, of course, John Barron and Matt Beals, doing a great job again behind the lens tonight. And the man behind the curtain, our director back in the Beals Insurance Studios, the wizard of replay, Ben Beals. We're just getting started, however. Roger and I will be back in a little less than an hour. 5 o'clock, about 45 minutes or so, we get the Division III championship going between Hopkinton and Campbell. Final score, final time, Division I again belongs to Bishop Guertin. BG 15, Pinkerton 6. This has been a presentation of the 2023 NHIAA Boys Lacrosse Division I State Championship game here on Friday Night Lights, New Hampshire, broadcasting in conjunction with the NFHS Network.